If you use the chat feature in NotebookLM, you might have noticed kind of recently that they now add clickable questions. And some of them will show up when you first go into the notebook, and then they'll also have some that will show up after you ask a question or ask it to do something in chat. If you haven't seen that, let me take a couple of minutes and just show you what it looks like. So just to get started, you want to go to notebooklm.google.com, and then if you're not logged into a Google account somewhere, you'll have to log in, and then you get to your main screen here. And then you're going to either create a new notebook or go into an existing one. I'll go into an existing one here, and then once you're in, you'll have to add at least one source, and then you'll have to have at least one source selected. And then when you have a source, then it'll usually take a second, and then this section right here, the section in the middle here, this will have a summary of the source or sources that you have selected, right? And now if you scroll down, it'll actually have usually 3 clickable, questions or just things that you can have it do for you. This is fairly new. So it's like I can just go in here and then I can click on this one and it will just start going through and looking through your sources and then giving you a response. This is pretty similar to how Gemini works if you've used Gemini app. I'll stop that because I don't actually want to do that in here, but like just to show you, like you can pretty much just mouse over one of these and then just click them. And then it'll do the same thing, like if you actually ask it a question or give it some kind of instruction. So I can just say, which notebook is this? Yeah, so this notebook just has a bunch of things for DaVinci Resolve, which is like a video and audio editing platform. So I can just ask it for have it tell me how to do something random in DaVinci Resolve. So it'll probably take a second because I left all like 15 sources selected here. So if this takes too long, I'll just kind of pause this and then come back when it's done. But usually the chat doesn't take that long. Yeah, okay. So now it has something, and the point here isn't what this answer is, so I'm not really gonna focus on this. This is a pretty lengthy answer. Right. So now I just kind of waited a second, and what I've seen with this is once you have an answer in here, once you get to the bottom of that answer, you usually have to wait like maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and then these new clickable questions will appear. So now I have these questions at the end, and what I've found is that with most things that I put in chat, if I get to the end of it and wait a couple of seconds, like there will be 3 new options that appear. Then I can click on one of these and kind of just like before, it'll put that in and it'll run that through whichever model is in here. Again, for me, this is a fairly new feature. One thing I'll note with this is these don't seem to persist. Right, so if I'm in here and I asked it to tell me whatever I asked, a random fact, then it gave me these things, and it's like, okay, great. And I'm over here and I make an artifact and I do some other stuff. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm going to leave this notebook. And I go in here and then I go and do something else. Maybe I went into a different notebook and I do some stuff and now I'm done. Now I want to go back into this notebook. And yeah, I mean, they just disappeared right there. So now if I go to the chat section, like I didn't delete my chat, so it's still, where are you? It's still here. Or yeah. So this was what I had. Tell me how to do something random and resolve. And this is the same answer that was there. But those clickable questions, they're not there anymore. It's like all I did was leave the notebook and come back. But that's what I mean, that they don't persist. So it's like when you ask something, it will give you, again, usually 3 clickable follow-up options. But as soon as you leave the notebook and come back, those options go away. It's like, I think the options, yeah, like the options are still underneath the main description, but the one that's under this chat specifically, that one went away. So I don't know how valuable that is. Like for me, I don't really, usually if I'm going to use the chat section, I have something specific that I want to do. But I mean, this can make sense if there's just kind of a natural follow-up question that maybe you didn't even think to ask, and it puts it in there. It's like, oh yeah, I do actually want to know that. You can click that, and then you can just kind of have the conversation back and forth. So just kind of going back in a quick summary, if you are in NotebookLM and you're in whichever notebook with at least one source added and selected, and then you put something in the chat window. After you put it in, there will be, more than likely, there will be 3 clickable either questions or just follow-on instructions to that chat. You can click one of them and then it will put that into the chat section and then kind of look through your sources and try to find an answer to that. What I've seen is as many answers or questions that I click, it will put those new 3 ones at the end of however many. It's not like it only does it once or only does it twice. It would do it for every time I would click it, it would just give me 3 more. Like I said, the only thing is that once I left the notebook and came back, they would disappear. So, yeah, I don't know. That's really it. There's nothing else that I really found with that feature. Again, it's very similar to how things work in like Gemini app if you're familiar with it and use Gemini app. So it's just they're getting closer to just kind of making the different applications work similarly. But yeah, I mean, try that out if you use chat with a Notebook LM. That it could end up being useful. And thanks for watching. We will see you next time.